Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to learn how to model these blinking lights. As you can see, the lights are blinking and they're blinking randomly. So I'm going to teach you how to model the lights and then set up this blinking effect. So this is what you want to learn. Keep watching. The tutorial is going to be absolutely beginner friendly. So that's enough being said. Let's jump in. With a new scene opened up in Blender, we want to select all of the default objects and press X and delete. You want to go Shift A, go to your mesh option, and go to your extra and wall factory. And then we have a wall. There's a whole lot of customizable options when it comes to this wall. You can increase or decrease the length, breadth, and width. You can enable and disable the openings. You can do a whole lot of things. You can increase the thickness. There's a whole bunch of stuff you could do here. It's personal preference at this point. So just go ahead, mess around with that till you get what you want. But this is what I'll go with. Just this. So I want to go to my mesh option, go and add in a UV sphere. With that UV sphere active in front orthographic view, you want to tap in and go to your wireframe. You want to select half of the UV sphere and delete all the half bottom parts. The next thing you want to do is Shift Alt select this vert and you want to go GZ and then bring it down. And another thing you might want to do, you don't have to do this. This is optional at this point. Is adding in a loop cut. You could add in some loop cuts to support it down there if you want to, or you could just leave it like that. Then at this point, you want to rotate the bulb and place it on the wall. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to move it up, and then I'm going to rotate it by pressing RX90, and yeah, like that, and then just place it on the wall how you want it. Something like this should be fine. Then you could do some other stuff like shade smooth and give it a solidify modifier to make it more organic and stuff, but this is what I'm just gonna go with. I'm just gonna go shade smooth and that's it. So we have our scene set up, ready to go to the shading workspace and add in some textures and all. So let's go to our shading workspace. um, Shading workspace, yeah, here we are in the shading workspace. We're going to select the bulb and give it its own material. If you like, you can rename it, but I'm just going to leave it as material 001. So you could rename it if you want to. So let's first of all increase the metallic to make it shiny and reduce the roughness like that. Then we want to go to transmission. That's what makes it transparent like a glass, and increase it. You can make it 1 if you want to, but that's what I'm just going to go with. And let's see. We want to go to the emission and give it an emission color, emission material. I'm gonna go with red. Red is danger, and you could give it an emission strength of 3 or 5. I think 3 should be fine. See, it's glowing, which is what we want. But however, we want these lights to blink, right? So we're gonna add in a few nodes to make that happen. Want to search and get a noise texture and place it here, and then we want to search and get a mask node here. Let's get a mask node, place it here. So we want to change a few settings, go to the noise texture and change it to 1D. And then we're going to use drivers for the W value, but that will be later. Let's plug the factor to the value, and then let's change the add to greater than. So when it's greater than zero point 0.5, you know, the lights will blink. Then let's connect the value to the emission strength. Now what we want to do here is we're going to be using drivers on the noise texture. So to use the driver on the noise texture, we would have to go hash frame. Let's type in hash tag frame 100, and then press enter. So that way, when the value goes above 0. 0.5, the lights will blink. See, when you play it, you should have something like this happening. So we're gonna add in a few extra nodes because we're going to be duplicating these lights and we want them to be blinking randomly. We don't want to have a uniform blink. So let's go Shift A, search and get an object info node, and then go add in a few mask nodes. I think we're gonna need like two of these mask nodes. So let's just go Shift A to duplicate the mask node, place it here, Shift A, and place another one here, something like that. So what we want to do is we're going to change this to add, and then we're going to make this multiply. And we're going to multiply, first of all, we're going to plug in the random to the value of this, right? Before we can put drivers, because we're going to need to put drivers on the add. So random to the value, and then let's multiply it by a value of we have to multiply it by a very high value. I'm thinking of the value that would work for this. Let's multiply it by 150, or 100 is fine. It's 100. Then we want to plug the value of the multiplier to the value of the add, and we want to use drivers for this one also, the same driver or even slightly different. So we want to go hashtag frame 110, I think. 110 should be fine, yeah. Then we want to plug the value of the add into the W value of the noise texture. Now if we play the animation, if we press space and play the animation, we should see that. But in order to see our result very well, we would have to duplicate this light a few times just to be sure that they are not, blinking at the same time. So we'll go to our front view, Shift D, place it here. Okay, this is exactly what we want. You kind of see that the lights are blinking, but not at the same pace, right? This is exactly what we wanted to achieve. So, at this point, you could do whatever you want. You have a lot of creative license at this point to just tweak more settings and give materials to your scene, lighting, camera, and all of that. You guys can actually do whatever you want at this point. But I'm just gonna give material to the brick. I think I'm gonna go with a dark material, something darker. Yeah, something like this should be fine. I'm gonna increase the roughness so it looks like a real brick. Now we're gonna go back to our layout and go material preview, and this is what we have. So before we go to rendered mode, we'll, need to add in a light and camera and all of that. But this has been the tutorial. So if you have made it this far, thank you